You see them on TV, in the video games you play, and in the books you read. You can see them come to life at your local Comic-Con through cosplay, and if you're an artist, there's joy in bringing existing characters or characters of your own creation to life on a page. Fictional characters have held heavy importance to people throughout history. Storytelling as an art can shine with the right characters. But today we're not just discussing fictional characters. It's more so the strong interest and heavy obsession that can come alongside fictional characters. Around a month ago, or maybe closer to a month and a half, I made a poll asking what video ideas really sounded the most intriguing, and this one won at a whopping 41%. So thank you for all who participated, and I just want to show that the input has been heard and this video is a result of that. So without further ado, let's talk more about character obsession culture. First, I think we should analyze a little more what exactly is a character. Characters at their core are players of a story and meant to deliver a narrative through their journey, whether it's as simple as a children's book protagonist or the journey of every Stark character over the course of Game of Thrones. Characters are important. A good character can improve even a bad plot. In different industries like animation or gaming, jobs are made out of things like character design and character writing. And honestly, my advice for anyone who ever struggles with writing fiction is don't start with the plot. Start with the characters and build your plot around them. Characters are so fundamentally important. Characters are always going to be the face of things. They're going to be the thing that people connect to. Characters help us escape our realities, envision new realities, inspire us, and help us become better versions of ourselves by instilling in us the qualities and values we admire most about them. And I'm not just talking about heroic qualities, but I've been inspired by quite a few villains and anti-heroes with both assertive and carefree qualities. For some, certain characters resonate more than others. Sometimes it's easy to just adore everything about a character's design. Maybe their personality is top tier and you can't just help but root for that character. But sometimes it's both, and occasionally something just clicks and you're like, damn, I really like this character. And I'm sure if you think for a moment of all the cartoons, TV, and video games you've enjoyed, maybe there's a character or two you would build a shrine to, because yes, it has been something more popularized online maybe in the past 3 years or so, are situations of individuals who are so dedicated to specific characters that they build shrines of them. And while it's not the sole purpose of this video, it's one of the things that prompted me to make it, because what else screams character worship culture like having a room or mansion dedicated to a specific character? So without further ado, may I present to you Nora, aka the Randy Marsh girl. Her fixation with Randy started in January of 2022, and she's gone viral online for sharing her bedroom, which is entirely themed after Randy Marsh. And we're not just talking bed sheets and a poster or two. No, her entire bedroom is decked out with official, fan-made, and custom merch, all of famous cartoon dad.
I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America!
I actually really appreciate Nora's presence on social media and her sense of humor she has with everything. Nora has also been very open about having autism and how that has affected her life and affected the hyperfixation with Randy Marsh. She has also openly stated that making a shrine dedicated to her favorite fictional character has helped her manage high levels of anxiety, and that the support online outweighs the bad. And honestly, I respect her and her Randy Marsh bedroom. Now this next one is something that puzzles me. Sayaka Maizono has never struck me as a rather interesting, compelling character. Even with her design and role as an idol, I never really got the hype when Danganronpa offers so much more intriguing designs and personalities for other female characters alone.
No one's coming! We're all gonna die! Just teasing.
But of course, every character is someone's favorite, and I don't much like policing what others are into. So, yes, we are going to be talking about the man behind the Church of Maizono, the most sane Danganronpa fan, Tobin Jacobs. I know this particular guy has gone viral, both here and on TikTok, for simply the scale at which he's able to produce these projects. Mostly, they're giant printouts like the size of a basketball hoop or rooms of his mansion covered in printouts of Maizono and other anime girls. And I know that alone produces so many questions. Like, who is able to do this, and more so, why are they doing this?
On all my social media accounts, many people are confused with the giant paper art I make, with one question surfacing the most, that being why, or why are you doing this? And therefore, I'm going to explain why I make these massive cutouts alongside anime girl insane asylums and anything else I make. This video is going to be the most candid video I've ever made, as I talk about my philosophy on being yourself and clarify what I get out of it and my vision is in the future. But first I'll talk about the more obvious point, which is that I find what I make cool. Generally, the type of content I make is the type of content I would want to see if I wasn't myself. Like, the idea of giant anime cutouts existing is so cool to me. I personally like the field of craft I'm in, especially since it's so surreal, since, like, rather than looking at something like a drawing or a painting, or even playing a video game and seeing the world it portrays through a screen, with some of the things that I make, it's almost like you're instead in that world and someone grabbed you through the screen and pulled you in. And that part I really enjoy about what I make. Like, some of the rooms that I've made look straight up like you're in a game walking through a map with a modded texture, or it feels like I'm looking at a real-life next spot. So overall, like, the feeling of surreality I get from what I make is all very cool, as it's like I have my own little museum. And that's really the value that I get out of it, and why I do it. The second reason is because I'm a content creator. I want to make better things than what I'm doing currently now. Some of my creative goals I have currently is to make a cutout that's over 100 feet standing, to create giant 30-foot tall paper models just like this but upscaled, and yes, the giant cutout of Speedwagon that I've been planning for like 2 years now. So I do what I do because I have ambitions to make cooler things by growing on social media.
Both Tobin and Nora are a few prominent examples of when character worship goes to the extreme. This is, of course, at the hands of the fans themselves, who turned on the camera and invited the world in. And in my research, I found a fun little crossover in which Randy did end up visiting the Church of Maizono. With character obsession, I think many might be quick to judge, as latching on to fictional characters is not necessarily the norm. However, if we want to discuss the negatives, we should address that some dangers of character obsession are legitimate. People can and often will project their fears, desires, and needs onto fictional characters. Furthermore, some may blur the lines of reality and fiction too much, which opens up a Pandora's box of potential issues, like not taking care of yourself, affecting real-life relationships, and not getting help for further issues. But I don't think that having comfort characters or really intense connections to characters is super concerning either. It's human to form admiration for things and people. Fictional characters are a weird middle ground where they are neither a thing nor an actual human, but maybe the concept of one. So I think it makes sense that some develop a deeper sense of appreciation for a character, no matter what that reason may be. And that's the thing too. We're talking fictional characters, and if you want to get more specific, animated characters. So not even the face of a real actor is being put on a pedestal. The obsession isn't aimed at any one person and only really affects the person with the obsession. So in the case of character obsession, no parasocial or stalker-like or other concerning behaviors are being aimed at a real person. But do you want to know what is maybe a little more normalized and accepted? Posters of music artists plastered on the walls. Or maybe the signed jerseys of famous football players. People may frown upon a Randy Marsh shrine, but not a garage full of luxury sports vehicles. And one of those is way more fucking expensive than the other. One thing to consider with these particular fans, both Nora and Tobin, is that, well, they do put themselves out there to a point where you know that the internet strangers are going to see this as abnormal behavior and put their 2 cents in. I think ultimately, of all things to be concerned about, people obsessing over their comfort characters shouldn't be high on the priority list. And let's take a step back and apply character obsession culture to your just everyday person, because there are hundreds of thousands of others. Some people collect figurines or plushies or other merchandise of characters they love. You'll see this in artist allies at conventions where people can't resist a piece of merchandise because it has their favorite character, or maybe they budgeted so they could spend so much money on things related to their favorite characters and pieces of media. I really hate to tie it into just a general theme of my videos that people should just be free to do what they want as long as they're not hurting others. And so having these interests and having specific characters that people like is cool. That's what they're there for. A writer should consider it a goddamn win when someone loves their characters, and in fact, most do. So yeah, that is where I stand. As long as you're not hurting yourself or others, feel free to love and enjoy your comfort characters. And for the brave few that decide to make it more public and post about it online, I do indeed salute you. But yeah, tell me what you think. Do you yourself have a character that stands above others? Does it really matter if others fill the voids in their life with fictional characters? Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.